Welcome to FB90 podcast. I'm Iranik here and joining me is Chantian. And in this segment of our podcast, we are going to discuss about the Bundesliga season 2018-19 preview, where we will be talking about the newly promoted sides, that is Nuremberg and Düsseldorf, and we will give you the view of who are the likely teams that will be finishing in the top 10 but not in the top 4, and also we will talk about the top 4 sides that are expected to make the cut and who is going to challenge Bayern Munchen for the title, because we all know that Bayern Munchen are definitely the favorites. Like 99% chance is there that they will win the title. So let's start our podcast and talk about the newly promoted sides. That is, the first side is who won the promotional title. Düsseldorf. So talking about the Düsseldorf, the club was founded, for your knowledge, the club was founded in May 1895, and that's a long time, which is quite historical, and they are back in the Bundesliga after 5 seasons as they won their Division 1 title last season on the final minute of the final day of the final match against Nuremberg. So that was very dramatic for the side, that how they won the title. And telling a bit more about this side, they are one-time Bundesliga winners. They have won the German Cup twice, and this club comes from the town, from the city of 335,000 inhabitants. Which bears the largest Japanese community in Europe, and their stadium has a capacity of 54.6 thousand, and they have quite a few features in that stadium. One of them is retraceable roof, so that can go like the indoor stadium. And now moving on to talk about the key players. Gentian, can you tell us about their key players?
Their key players are Andreas Lamberts, who is actually a midfielder. He has played more than 300 games in 4 leagues. He has played for Düsseldorf since Regionalliga Bayern, has played with in 3rd tier of Germany. The 2nd tier also has played in the 1st. So you can guess he has played a long time with Düsseldorf. The second player is Kaan Ahyan. He's a defender. He has played with Schalke in the past. Has played also in Champions League back in the day, but he wasn't a starter for them. And the third key player of Düsseldorf to watch or to be scouted, no matter how much you like this club, is their forward, who is Marvin Duksch, who was their top scorer on last season. He was their top scorer last season, scoring 10 goals, even more, but it's our lack of knowledge about the 2nd tier of Germany.
Yeah, but
we don't watch that too much.
We are just giving you the overview about these sides, and there's one player to watch, which is Devol Lovren. He's a younger brother of Liverpool defender Dejan Lovren. So that's interesting that his brother is also playing.
Also, he is a midfielder, not a defender like his brother. And we all hope that he is better than Lovren in general.
Yeah.
Let's see if he does good.
Yeah, we don't want to judge too much, but you know what we meant. And now that was the first team who is in the Bundesliga this season. Now moving on to the second team in the Bundesliga, which will feature this year, because the Hamburger and Cologne got relegated last season, so Nuremberg is the second team which comes in for the Bundesliga. This club was founded in May 1900, and they are the 9 times Bundesliga champions, and they have won 4 times the German Cup, the German Cup 4 times, and their stadium is basically named after their legend, and the fans of the club owns the naming rights of this club, like they are co-sponsoring it. So the arena called Max Morlock Stadium is having 50,000 capacity, and their legend played like 900 games for 24 years with the club, and it had a span of 20, and he was a world champion as well. So right now their coach is Michael Kollner, and he is a qualified dental assistant, which is something weird and amusing to know that a dental assistant is their coach, and he has been coaching his side since 2017, and in his first season he got them to the Bundesliga. So that's amazing thing from the coach of this side. And what are the key players? Can you again tell?
Their key players are Michael Ishak, who is a Sweden international that has scored 12 goals for them in this campaign last season. They got second place on the league, so he scored 12 goals to help the team get promoted. The second player is a midfielder, who is Hanno Bechlen, who has scored 14 goals in last season with Nuremberg. And there's another player to watch, who is Edward Lowen, who is a German U21 international player.
Yeah.
He's a talented player, as I've seen so far.
He's a one to watch out for the national side as well, as much as for the league and for his club. And it was the 2-0 win for Nuremberg against Sandhausen, which secured their promotion to the Bundesliga. So these two will be the new featuring sides in this year's German league. Now let's move on to talk about the second part of our podcast, which focuses on the sides which are finishing in top 10 but not in top 4. What do you think about that?
Top 10, top 10 in my opinion, from 5th to 10, would be generally starting from Leverkusen, Frankfurt. There are some good teams in there, Mönchengladbach as well, Leipzig probably because they can compete in top 4. We will talk about that later on.
Yeah, sure.
Stuttgart, maybe one of the promoted sides. Maybe I think Nuremberg has the potential to go top 10. Maybe I'm wrong. Anything can happen. It's football after all.
Yeah.
I think Freiburg top 10 would be hard. And
I agree.
I think
and even
that's about it really.
A team like Augsburg, Hertha, they will struggle to get into the top 10.
Yeah, also Hertha Berlin, yes.
And I think
Augsburg has some good talents as well.
Yeah, but I think one of these sides can even relegate.
Augsburg is most likely to get relegated or go to the play-out.
And how about the chances of Wolfsburg?
16th place.
Okay. And how about the chances of Wolfsburg? Are they making? Is there any chance that they will make into the top 10?
Probably not, because they risked their place to stay in the Bundesliga in the first place last season. They were ranked 16th, and they had to play the play-out against Karlsruhe, which they won 1-0, by the way.
Right.
I don't think Wolfsburg will go to top 10 just for one reason: last season's form. That's why I don't think Wolfsburg will make it to top 10. Even though we have been we have been usually seeing Wolfsburg on top 10, top 5 sometimes. They even won the league when they had the likes of Mandzukic, Grafite, and so many other good players in that team with Felix Magath, who is now, I think, a coach of Borussia Mönchengladbach, but still, either way, Wolfsburg doesn't have the potential to go on top 10.
Yes.
I would prefer Mönchengladbach there rather than
and maybe I
Wolfsburg.
think Stuttgart can try for top 10.
Yeah, actually, I thought at the first place they were qualified on Europa League qualification stage, which is the second qualification round, but I was wrong. They finished 7th, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Either way, Stuttgart has a good team.
So, in my opinion, I think sides like Frankfurt, Hoffenheim, Bayern Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think I've mentioned 4 names so far. 4, and one of them is Stuttgart. And
Stuttgart,
six side I think will be Nuremberg. So these are my these are
Berlin or Nuremberg. One of these two.
Yeah, but I would say Nuremberg. They have looked impressive. So these will be the sides from.
I have this strange feeling, about Nuremberg. They're going to surprise everyone. Well, technically not winning the league, so top 10 at least is a best result.
It would be best. Yes, exactly. That would be the best result for them. And now I think we can move on to talk about the top 4 debate and which side can really pose threat to Bayern Munchen. So what do you expect the top 4 position to be like?
Top 4 will be Hoffenheim.
Yeah, in no specific order. Yeah.
Hoffenheim.
No, Hoffenheim, I don't expect.
Hoffenheim was in top 10, sorry.
It was, right.
Dortmund, Leipzig,
and Schalke,
and Bayern, of course. In no particular order. Anyone don't misjudge that.
Though our order is definitely the winner is, in our opinion, should be Bayern Munchen because they are really strong side in all the fronts and they don't look like losing it. So, but talking about the sides which can post threat, which one from these 3 look like the real threat to Bayern Munchen?
The counter Bayern will probably be either Schalke or Dortmund.
Right. Because even
I don't see Leipzig fighting again like they did 2 seasons ago.
And more so when they have lost.
Leipzig is currently playing their playoff match against Zorya Luhansk. And I don't think Leipzig will fight for the second place. Leipzig would be happy in the Champions League top 4. End of story.
Right. And
Schalke and Dortmund also have their rivalry, their Ruhr rivalry, which is a good match to watch. Always, every time.
Definitely.
Their rivalry is sick. The fans are amazing. But anyway, Schalke or Dortmund.
Yeah, match always goes down to the wire whenever they play. Right.
Yeah, it goes mad. Schalke for the second place and Dortmund on third.
I will bet on Dortmund for the second and maybe challenging Bayern Munchen for the title. A little bit of hope.
But Dortmund is now lacking a bit of grinta, like
they lost players as well. Yarmolenko left and Socrates left to Arsenal,
which was an important.
Eric Durm was also a good player for them, but he left for Huddersfield Town. Andre Schürrle, they might miss him because he's right now at Fulham.
Now he's on Fulham.
Yeah,
and he's doing a great.
And also talented Mikel Merino left for loan, I think.
Merino go to
Real Sociedad.
Yeah, he went to Real Sociedad. Probably will do good, will progress as a player, then maybe Dortmund will change their mind. And
Though one thing,
buy him.
I'm sure I'm not concerned about regarding Dortmund is their goalkeeper. That Roman Weidenfeller has retired.
from
Yeah,
football.
but they have a good keeper in name of Burki. So I don't think they have any issues in that front.
No, yeah, but Burki will have to fight against Hitz,
It's
who was
at Augsburg last season.
Augsburg's goalkeeper last season, and I think Burki will have to fight for a place on the starting lineup with him.
Yeah, that would
because
be.
I think Hitz is a good goalkeeper. That's all.
Yeah, and that would be helpful for his growth as well. For the growth of both the keepers. They are great keepers, but to become world class, they have to give those performances day in and day out. And they also have they have recently got Alex Witzel, who just won, who saved them. Yeah,
Who won third place?
No, who saved their game. There was a DFB Cup match 3-4 days back, and he scored in the 90th minute and won them. And they went on to win the match after Marco Reus scored the goal in 120th minute. So he looks like a good addition for the squad right now.
Axel Witsel isn't a very good player, but I would call him average at best. I've seen him in the World Cup, and he's not as good as you think. But it's just because of the German league that makes players like Witzel, like I don't know, Castro.
Yeah,
Castro who's gone to Stuttgart.
Yes.
Aranguiz, who is a Leverkusen player.
And by the way, Witzel was in Chinese Super League before joining Dortmund.
Yeah.
So maybe I think he did some
Guangzhou Evergrande.
Yeah, he did
something like that.
I think he did some right work. That's why they got him in. Otherwise, you don't hear the player from Chinese league going to the top European leagues, except for the case of Paulinho, who did make the cut. But
technically, Witzel was bored in China and wanted to come back in Europe when he started. So I don't know. Maybe he can do good, maybe not.
That's
it's up to him.
Another funny story. One of them was Carlos Tevez. He openly admitted that he went to take off the money from the Super League.
It's better to accept it rather than hiding it.
Yeah, but it pisses off the fan base.
Probably.
Yeah, so
it happens most of the time. So fans must get used to it.
And I still remember 4 years back, Alex Witzel was regarded as a great talent. In last World Cup,
yes,
in 2014, he was regarded as a great talent. But I don't know. Maybe he can still find his form.
Then he ruined his career going to China, and of course.
And I think he went to 4 or 5 leagues. He switched 5-6 leagues after that.
Yeah, but Axel Witzel will do great with Dortmund, but he is an average player. That's what I mean.
Yeah, right. And also,
But with the new arrivals, such as Wolf or Diallo or Hakimi, maybe Dortmund will finish third or fourth, depending on how.
But it would be
against the top 4.
Yeah, I believe that it would be a tough task on Abdou Diallo to fill in the boots of Socrates.
Yeah, it would be hard for him because Socrates was the leader, was the vice captain as well of Dortmund, so it will be big for him.
Right. Now, talking about the leaders, we have already mentioned there would be a tough fight between Schalke and Dortmund for second and third place, and we are expecting Leipzig to be finishing at the fourth. Now, talking about Bayern Munchen, who are definitely a strongest side in the league, and all the past results show and speak about that. They have appointed the new coach Niko Kovac, and he just won that German Super Cup with in his first match. I think that was his first game.
First official game, yes.
Yeah, and they won it 5-0. So it clearly shows that how good as a side is Bayern Munchen. And recently they have got the player Leon Goretzka coming in, and they have Renato Sanchez coming in as well. But they lost two vital players.
Sanchez just got back from his loan to Swansea City,
which
he was overhyped in Euro 2016. Went to Swansea instead of going to a side like Milan, who were going for him.
Or maybe fight.
Anyway, there were no official offers from Milan, so Swansea benefited from it and made the offer, and he went to Swansea, where his career was ruined. And now he's going back to Bayern.
And even in Swansea, he wasn't making it to the starting 11. That's the point. Yeah, that's some worrying thing to notice. But I think if he would have tried to fight for his place in Bayern Munchen side, that would have worked well for him.
Yeah, it would. It would, because the likes of Vidal, Javi Martinez,
but
they would be tired, so there would be space for.
But having said that,
Renato Sanchez to start,
but
at least one competition, because Bayern is was fighting for all the three fronts.
But having said that, I think now is the right time. Now is the very great time for him to seal his place in the Bayern Munchen. Vidal has left, Douglas Costa has went back to Juventus and sealed a permanent deal. So the two spaces are still left in the Bayern lineup, and he can definitely, if he wants to, he can definitely count on that.
Yeah, but he will have to compete with the likes of Florentin Tolisso, who is a great player, in my opinion.
Right.
Also Javi Martinez, experience. So he will have to fight.
Yeah,
if he wants to
fight is still there. He needs to do something on that. But one thing I think Bayern Munchen fans would be relieved about is that the replacement of Vidal is Leon Goretzka, and he really looks like an upgrade on that position in terms of the age as well.
Goretzka, he is a great talent. I cannot refuse that. Milan, Barcelona, Tottenham, Manchester United were interested after this guy.
Yeah, lots of Premier League clubs. Yeah, lots of Premier League clubs were interested in this guy. I remember.
So you can guess what talent he was, and he is.
Yeah.
But filling the boots of Vidal, he doesn't play on the same position. He plays a little bit forward than Vidal. And I think with Kovac as a new manager, he will get more space. So, yeah, I think Kovac will make him progress.
Yeah, he can thrive on the opportunity and make Bayern fans a bit more happier than before.
Yep.
So I think that's all we had in this podcast, and that's our predictions about top 4 and top 10 and how the newly promoted sides can do in this season. So with that said, we call it off and say you goodbye. Please stay connected and listen to more. And if you want to listen to more such podcasts, please subscribe to our channel. We will definitely try our best to bring on the more better content than this. So that's all for now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.